Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the Blue Honor vlog. I'm Kay Williams, author of Blue Honor, OP-DEC Operation Deceit, and the Trilokia trilogy. Today I want to talk about learning German and how that came into being. When I was a kid, I had an interest in learning languages, but I was not very good at it. I was forced to take in school Spanish. That wasn't my choice. I wanted to take German. And I really don't remember what propelled that. It was just an interest in a language and culture, probably because of the history. You may have read me writing about where these books come from and what has inspired them, and a lot of times it was watching documentaries with my dad. Very rarely with my grandfather, who was a World War II veteran who sailed with the Merchant Marine. But my dad, who is also reluctantly calling himself a veteran, served in the National Guard during the Vietnam era into the 90s. So we had an interest in military stuff, and he was gone a lot when I was a kid. Not a lot, but like on the weekends and stuff, he would have drill, and he would have those summer camps, and he would be away, and almost always he would miss my birthday, and to this day that eats him alive. And I was no help, because when I was little I would make him feel bad about that. I should probably feel really bad about that, because he was serving our country. I should not have made him feel guilty for being away. But there was this one summer camp when he went away and he got to go to Germany. And I swear if I could have fit in that duffel bag, I would have been in it in a second. I loved hearing the stories, and it was so cool for him to call. He would call in the evenings or afternoons. What are they, 7 hours ahead of us? But it would be really, really late for him, and he would call to talk to my mom, and my mom missed him terrible. They've always been together since 1970. Holy cow. Anyway, so during that time I also had a Doberman, which was a breed of dog that comes from Herr Doberman, and they're fantastic dogs. I don't even know how to express that enough. She was like a lap dog, but like almost 100 pounds of lap dog, and she was just the goofiest thing, and I really miss her. I lost her when I was 22, back in college when I was finishing up, and that was so devastating to our family, because I had known her since I was like 9 or 10, and she was 13, and it was just devastating to the family. But she was a German breed, so that was another inlet. So you have the documentaries, you have the military history, you have my dad going to Germany. I wanted to learn German in high school because they had the program until I got there. It's like every time I would get closer to it, it would just slip. And but when my dad was going to Germany, he got one of those cassette tapes that would teach you some phrases and stuff so you could get along a little bit better. And we learned that. I remember swimming in the pool, and we'd play that, and we'd try to recite the stuff. And it's kind of funny to me now, because several of the words, because you don't have the book in front of you, you just have auditory. So you're trying to pronounce these words according to how you think that they're spelled and what's being said. And some of them not close. And now I'm using Duolingo to kind of to get me to a stage where I would be ready to start taking classes and get certified or whatever in German. But to have those credits, because it would be really interesting to be able to teach English abroad in Germany, to teach literature maybe in a German university at one point. That would be very, very awesome. But that's a long way down the road after I retire from my current job. So the book OP-DEC that I wrote that came about through the most bizarre dream that I had. I was actually Claire out on the date with Karsten. And if you know me very well, you can probably guess what movie was actually playing in the theater. And I'll give you a hint. It's a science fiction film. Let me know in the comments if you know what it is. It's one of my favorite films. So, yeah, I thought that was hysterical. So it kind of stuck with me a little bit. And of course, you know, I cleaned up what happened in the dream a little bit and went with it. I wrote it all down and I said, you know, this is kind of interesting, but I don't know how it's going to play out because I only had like 2 or 3 scenes. And the ending was in the dream. But it was there and I let it percolate for years. So it kind of nagged me. You know, and I thought about all these things in my past and stuff, and I wanted to learn German. So when I went into the writing process, it rekindled that desire to learn the German language again. And I face it like, you know, I can do this. Absolutely, I can do this. I learned so many other things. I pick up computer stuff really quickly. I don't have the stress of, you know, learning all these subjects like I did when I was in grade school or high school. So it would just be German. And instead I went back for my master's degree and graduated in 2014 with that in screenwriting. But that too, because I adapted OP-DEC to the screenplay, it was more about dialogue. And having to know the German, the real German, how this would actually be said, and just, you know, pulling hair, like, God, it's 1942. They probably didn't swear exactly like they do swear today. So it's like asking my German friends, do you know, and stuff, and they're like, I think so. I think this was definitely used then. They know, because they know if their grandparents or whatever used it. And Facebook really helps with that because I go online and I have my German friends and they're wonderful. They can't wait to share their language and they love that you're trying to learn it and they'll joke with you and stuff. Don't take it personally, you know. They're learning English too, so my German friends are better at speaking English than I am at German, but they've been at it a lot longer. And they are wonderfully forgiving. And they are there to answer questions, which is wonderful. The interesting thing is World War II is a picky situation in Germany, and they've gone through a lot to try and get rid of the sentiment that erupted into that, and trying to live it down and to move beyond that and to not keep mentioning that nightmare. And it was a nightmare. And don't mistake that. And the kids and the young adults and even the adults and the elderly people, they know this. So I do not bring up World War II with friends. And it is not why I want to learn the German language. I've wanted to learn that language since I was a little girl. And yes, it might have been because of documentaries and stuff that I saw where they were speaking German. But I am able to separate that nightmare of history from the German people, which at this point we really need to do. You know, they have a long history beyond that, and they're going to have a long history after that, and it's going to be great. And things are not going to go that way. And right now, America has no room to talk. Elevating the likes of what is in our highest office right now, who supports such ideology. And I hope that it doesn't come to that. It's really awful, the laws that are being passed. It's upsetting and disgusting. And I had hoped that Americans would have learned the lesson after they fought World War II, to not go there, to not embrace these things. But it appears that they want to embrace these things, and that's frightening. That's truly frightening. But in the meantime, I will enjoy culture, culture of another country that I'm interested in learning more about historically. If you ever have the chance, there's a great book by a guy named Jovanovich called Berlin Cabaret, and that is in the notes section of OP-DEC, so that you can read that, and that gets into a lot of history, and it is extremely interesting stuff. And doing that kind of research and learning about the culture and stuff and the people and being beyond World War II and that Nazism, that really kind of brought it all back. And I'm very thankful that Duolingo exists, that I can really get started on the German language. And I've been at it for, I think, about 2 years now, and I'm still only at 24%. But it's important to know I work a day job. I do the vlog. I do my blog. I write books. I have to edit them. I have to design. I have to do advertising. And I spend time on social media. So having time to practice my language is whittled down to about 20 minutes to a half an hour in the evening every night. And that's it. That makes it very tough. And I'm proud that I've stuck with it this far. Most people would have given up because they just don't have the time. And that's how I got into learning German. It's been a long haul to get there, but I am determined more than ever to not let these incidences that come up and life changes stop me from, expanding my education and lifelong learning. Don't forget to subscribe to the vlog, and you can go over to authorkwilliams.com and you can subscribe to my newsletter. There's a little box at the top. Scroll down a little bit, you'll see the box. Just drop in your email. That does not get shared with anyone. That is mine. I can't actually access your email. I would have to go logging into who handles the email thing and go mining and stuff, and I have no interest in mining your emails and doing anything with them. But you'll get a weekly email from me that rounds up the articles from the week so that you don't have to keep being reminded to go to the site and read. Please read the site. And that's the Blue Honor blog. That's the written version. And I will see you next time. Subscribe now. Check mark down there. Subscribe. Thank you.